Hey, what's up YouTube? PCGamingDude here, and today, I'm going to show you guys the craziest update on Lalone Land. Or, in other words, the theme park that I had showed you in Minecraft. So, if you don't mind, before checking out this video, you could go ahead and go check out the tour of my amusement park before this craziest update happened in the links provided down below this video. However, my virus protection says to update soon, so just go get that out of the way. Okay, anyway, so as you can tell, there has been lots of crazy things that have happened, things that wasn't supposed to happen, in other words. But anyway, so this will be a video covering all the things that went wrong and how it happened. Is essentially what all this is. This will be topicing about. But anyway, before checking out this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for incredibly awesome videos every single day. Don't forget to give this video a awesome thumbs up. Alright, and finally, don't forget to smash me well, a comment down below saying you like this video, okay? Anyway, that is more than enough talking. Let's talk about what went wrong and how it happened. So anyway, as if you guys could see, apparently my game's a little bit glitchy today. Which is not normal, but anyway. As you can see here, this is incredibly rare. As you guys could tell, there's been lots of misplaced pieces of land all around the site. Alright, so this had to force me to change a little bit of the coasters here. Or at least 100% of it. However, it's in great conditioning for some of these coasters and lots of other stuff. So anyway, we'll begin with the main coaster, the Hawk. The Hawk. What most people like to call it. Ooh. Hey, what are you doing here, bro? Hey, you're supposed to be back on the track. It looks like we got some Mayday coming up. Oh, come on, guys. What's your problem? Get back on the ride. Alright, anyway. As you can tell, there's a little bit of trouble and commotion with those two. Because I apparently stopped a villager. By accident. But anyway, the only changes made to the Hawk, because of this crazy accident, well, it started out, I do believe yesterday, on the 25th. Apparently, I woke up nearby the newest house, which is over there, split into two parts. I killed myself, and then I apparently lost a bed, and this happened. So, that is how it worked. I wasn't moving, apparently, because it's just me. But anyway, as you can tell, most of the things in the Hawk stayed the same. Except for whenever you come over here. Instead, you'll go ahead and go through this area, go through this piece of land, then come back and, well, you know, I just showed you pretty much of all what I did because of this thing. Anyway, so that's that taken care of. Let's take a look at some of the other coasters and what had to be changed. So for over here, it is a Maverick. Had to be changed up a little bit too. As you can see, the way on how you get back to the station's a little bit different, because there were two different stations. This one had to be gotten rid of, unfortunately. As you can tell, a little bit of the oakwood fence is gone, or at least half of the oakwood fence on the left hill is gone, and the downhill as well. The big hill currently doesn't have any oakwood fence at all. But anyway, so we'll get so as you guys can tell, it is in a little bit of a rough condition, and something else that had to be done was that over here, over here, this area in particular had to be changed up a little bit as well, as you guys can see over here by the white cross. So that had to be changed up because for a couple reasons, this area was a little bit deleted. Not by me, but by the glitch. And pretty much the rest is completely the same, except for when we come over here. The way on how we get back to the station. So anyway, that's that. Let's talk about Mine-a-Rango, which is a mine coaster that brings you back to the station without connecting into a loop. Anyway, let's go ahead and go dive on down here and see the changes that had to happen. Anyway, this is one of the only coasters right now that has no person in it right now because of a couple of changes. As you can see, the Mine-a-Rango actually ends in another section of land and was cut off from that area over there, I do believe. And that is pretty much how Everest works too. And as you can see, a little bit of the coaster is, I just fixed this yesterday. So, if you take a look at Everest for the moment. But anyway, most of the Mine-a-Rango is in good condition, not been damaged by the glitch, except for when we come to over here. Alright. However, after here, this is where it starts to get a little weird. But anyway, as you can see, it's nice and good. Nothing else we have to do. Alright, let's go on to Everest, shall we? I just mentioned just a second ago, I had just fixed up whatever's going on here. As you can see, a little bit of the sections of the track have been moved by the glitch. I need to go ahead and delete those before I make the next update on Lalone Land. So anyway, as you can see over here, there is I wish I could seriously laugh for this, but there is a little bit of land down here. There's some trees in it. And this was, I guess, to this area, where I'm going to show you here in just a minute. This is probably one of the weirdest things I have ever seen in Minecraft. But anyway, as you can see there, it's a little bit weird, but we'll talk. But, you know, because of the glitch, that happened. That's a weird thing. That is what let's call a crater. A homemade crater. Not by me destroying anything. Just simply by a glitch. Alright. Now, as you can also see, it goes down normally until you get to over here. After the area where you go through some TNT and stuff like that. Which is another signature part of the Everest. If I did not mention that. I probably did. Alright, so anyway, as you can see, after you go through Everest, you will wind up in this big chunk of land as well. It will also come out, and most of the other coaster pieces. But yeah, the only changes meant to the Everest was for me to actually change how the lift hill worked, and pretty much all that stuff. And over here. Rest of the coaster is perfectly normal. Anyway, we're going to that. That's pretty much about that. Anyway, something else I want to show you here is this yellow submarine, which apparently, you can see it's been fixed up a little bit nearby this eco house that was created by TSMC. However, it was perfectly normal, but due to the glitch, a little bit of it is, well, disconnected from the other piece way back there. But anyway, as you can see, there's definitely a bed. I just didn't have anywhere to sleep when I killed myself that day. But anyway, and on top about Minecraft, not real life, just obviously. Anyway, so as you can see, this yellow submarine here has gone through some restoring and how to make it a little bit different. As you can see here, the first stage of the underwater is gone. It is way over there. Instead, it goes through a little bit of the mountain before it goes up to the lift hill. But other than that, most of the coaster is in perfect condition. not been affected by the crappy storm or glitch, whatever you like to call it. Alright, that's most of the attractions taken care of. And what we mean by attractions, we mean attractions. Roller coasters in particular. However, over here, the carousel remains perfectly normal. Or, in other words, what I like to call it, the torture carousel. A carousel, because it's a perfect way to kill off those pesky villagers. True fact. Anyway, if you can also see here, there's a little bit of a skeleton warrior over here. Let's go burn him up. Anyway, as you can see, a little bit of the carousel is back here. However, that's about 98% of the carousel is over here. About 2% is over there, unfortunately. Lost a little bit of area there. But who cares? Because, guess what? It remains perfectly normal. There is a good way on how to get in here. You still get in here perfectly fine. All the mechanisms and stuff works. See, it's still there. Obviously. But yeah, that is pretty much that. Alright, the other thing I want to show you here that I had just recently built and just got recently destroyed was the bobsled. Now, it's really a little bit of bobsled plus a little bit of roller coaster at the same time. You take a minecart, then you go down all the way down here. It goes a little bit away from the mountain as well, and then you will simply go ahead and go through here, and, well, that's for the glitch. Originally, you would have this stuff a little bit over here, until you had it to hit here. However, due to some reasons, because this house here, which apparently a little bit of it is over here and a little bit's over there, that's that. Pretty simple. Now, if you can tell, the nether portal doesn't look real, because, obviously, the purple wall. I just built this, also on Monday, the 24th of April. Before the infamous incident had occurred. Also, another part of the eco house over here. So yeah, but believe it or not, the bobsled actually ends here now. It used to end nearby this Everest logo here. It also says ride to the bobsled, which is all the way up that mountain. If you can see here, a little bit of the original track and the original supports are apparently in the wrong place. Because of the glitch. Anyway, but yeah, I will have to deal with all these, new things that had just happened in Minecraft. It's a little bit depressing, because, obviously, most of the place is now covered up with these pillars of sections of land that are from the mountains over here. If you can see that. However, I like it because the coasters are in good condition. They're not mostly affected. However, things I just recently built up by TSMC, the carousel, the eco house, the smallest house, apparently, is another thing that just got destroyed. And, well, let me tell you, it's not good. Anyway, if you can see here, there is nothing. Well, literally about just almost nothing over here. The way on how to get out, the secret way on how to get out, still works fine. I don't have a problem with that. However, the other part of the smallest house is apparently winding up somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Let's see if I can actually find it real quick. Alright, it is over here, guys. I've officially found it, so. Anyway, down here is actually the place where the original bed stuff was. The interior is mostly over here. So that is how bad the glitch had effectively destroyed my property. Anyway, that is it, guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and support me on Twitter. Feed the links down below. Thanks for watching.